All right. Hey, we are back again, and we are looking at quite a lot of time going here. We're at 8:14:14, starting off this video, and we've got our full Natalia set. We've got the Ogolds working for us. We've got the Guardians working for us. We've got an empty socket for each of those things, so we aren't working on our sockets yet. And we've got, I'm pretty sure, everything that we need for our set working for us here. Let's check out where it is. It's down here. Cannon bolter, Treggle's coils, ring of royal grandeur. So that's everything that we need for our cube. Now that we have this in the cube, the Treggle's coils as well, it's going to make it a million times easier if we end up dying, because we can always keep those cube items. We have 38 greater rifts, 561 death breath, 3,000, 3,000, 2,000 for our materials, and 171 reusable or forgotten souls here. Man, my mind just kind of jumps to reusable parts, it seems. And we're looking really great on bounty resources as well. So we've got plenty of things here, and plenty of things we could do. One of the things, we see that we have an ancient item here. If I wanted to, I can go over here and go to the belts and get an ancient belt as well. Because I have plenty of resources, but that's not something I want to do because we're not secured in this character yet, and we don't have a lot of backup gear. We check our stash here, and we see that we've got a few gems and items in here. We've been putting our diamonds and all of these other jewels here, stacking up some of these resources, but we're not quite ready to be fully finished here. I've started organizing my tabs, so this is what I use for my kind of main tab here. This is going to be rings and amulets. This will be weapons, so all my weapons are going over here. This is any armor item, and then this is set pieces, and then over here, I've got another set item drawer, and then this is just some miscellaneous stuff that I put there. So that's what we'll try and do. And I'll try and organize my main sets over here. So this will be for all of the Demon Hunter stuff. And in fact, I could probably even change this to the Demon Hunter wherever they are here. I think it's this one, if I'm not mistaken. So I could do that. And then we'll be able to kind of easily recognize that. So I've also got, of course, the sages and stuff in there too. So that's one of the things that we did off screen last time because it didn't want it to take too long. 516 parts here. And one other thing that I think I need is I think I need a better ring here, or a different ring. I believe it's a convention of elements that I need actually. Let me go ahead and just double check here. See if I have one of those. Okay, I do not. So I'll keep an eye out for that. Now at this point, we're gonna put in all of this extra paragon that's just sitting here. Our goal is to reach GR 70. So let me skip those. And GR 70 shouldn't be too far off. Move my chair around here. I think that we'll just start with a GR 10 Greater Rift right off the bat here to get warmed up a bit. Let's activate as many spike traps as we can here. There we go. I gotta remember how to play these builds sometimes. Now that we got those Treggle's coils, we're moving a lot faster, which is nice. And I've got a few ideas for how to speed this up a little bit and make this a lot easier. Because the nice thing about this is everything is getting one shot. Pretty much doesn't really matter what it is. A few traps down and a shot, and they're all dead. We're not even really using our caltrops very much here. So we don't actually have to worry about that. But as I can see when running through this build, I have to stop every few seconds to lay down these traps. And that can be kind of annoying. So what I would rather do is I'd rather continue this for a pushing build, since it's an S rank push build anyway. And then I would like to get something like the God set or the multi-shot set going for speed farming. Now there's two ways I can do that. one of the ways is what most people do, which is going to the armory and creating a speed set for the Demon Hunter here, and creating a push set, making one for Nephilim Rifts, etc., and then just switching back and forth between them, which is a good idea. Or alternatively, I can create a second Demon Hunter, get it to level 70, and then farm on that one, and anytime I want to push, then I just switch over to the push character, which has all of its gear ready to go. Now, I'm not sure which of those I want to do, because the nice thing about it is I can be as reckless as I want to on my spare, and I don't have to worry about it dying or anything. But at the same time here, let's level this one up. At the same time here, it would be a lot faster just to switch back and forth with the armory here. Move some of these gems where they're supposed to be. Got another one of these. And looks like we got another unhallowed essence and a gold wrap. So, how are we doing with the unhallowed essence? Got 1, 2, 3, 4. I have another one of those somewhere. Okay, so I need one more to get unhallowed essence going. Okay. And I should probably throw that gold wrap in here as well. All right, and that's right. One other thing I wanted to look at is the altar over here. What do I need? Okay, I just need some blood shards, which I can easily get by going up a higher greater rift here. Now, before I do, I'm going to want to throw in the molten gilder beasts, or however you call that. So let me see if I have that gem unlocked yet. Okay, I don't see it, so I am not going to go any higher until I get that gem. So we're going to run as many quick greater rifts here as we can. Now, what the molten gilder beast, I think is how you pronounce it, could be absolutely butchering that, does is it makes it so we regenerate a lot of life per second, and it also gives us a shield around us protecting us. So that'll help us keep our squirts buff going, and it'll make it a lot harder for any of these elites here to one-shot us. Now, we are doing great. That's 294 million damage, or toughness, that we have here. So we're doing absolutely phenomenal on toughness. I just don't like it because if I make a slight mistake here, then I'm going to lose this character. And like I said, I don't have a whole lot of backup gear going. Now, with a 4-piece or 5-piece bonus for the 4-piece, yeah, it would be a 4-piece bonus for the unhallowed essence. I'm not too worried. And I think we have a Yang's as well. I could be mixing up my characters, though. That's entirely possible. And we should be able to get back up, no problem. And we're getting pretty close to being done with this series here. We are definitely taking longer than I would have anticipated. I didn't realize just how much hardcore would slow me down here. Or at least not being on the Necromancer or getting the Challenge Rift to boost us right away. Typically, if I do the Necromancer and do the Season Journey that I'm used to doing, it takes me 2 hours to get the set unlocked for the Hadrig's Gift. So, in 2 hours, we would have been right about here anyway, on the Necromancer, running through the typical way that I do this. And that's even with playing somewhat cautiously as well. And then, of course, we didn't get the Tragul's Coils for the longest time as well, which really slowed us down here. This were some other Demon Hunter set, I would also feel a lot more confident in getting through this much faster. So I anticipate this being the slowest time I'll ever have for this series here. Alright, let's get that Rift Guardian. Right. That is now all I need. And let's see. Can't remember what else I needed. It was probably a Bane of the Trapped or a Bane of the Stricken. And I've also got the Boon of the Hoarder here. So when I'm ready to make a Nephilim set here, I can do that as well. Now let's see. I'm going to go for rings, since I need rings anyway. Okay, we got red shells and another Stone of Jordan there. Let's see. I want to keep one of these because I think it's used in some speed sets. Okay, that's absolutely great. Let's check out the information on this. We have dexterity, attack speed, reduce cooldown. So normally on rings we want crit, crit. I think that's still the case with the Natalia hit here. Even though this is an ancient ring, it's probably one of the worst ancient rings. We can roll some of that into something good. So we'll keep it, but we would have liked something better. Or maybe that's what you want with the Guardian set that we have on. Who knows? I haven't got my planner open right now. All right. I might be missing a passive that speeds me up here. I didn't think to check that. I think right now what I've got everything focused on is damage and survivability. There was some elites over here we could kill. Alright, that was a shield pylon, which means I don't gotta worry about anything now. Be as lucrative as we want to be. And I can't remember what I have unlocked on the altar right now, but I'm pretty sure the next things that I'm going to need are a Challenge Rift Cache, which I have, and a Ancient Hellfire Amulet, so I'll have to go through and get those. Now luckily, the Natalia set does a pretty good job of targeting bosses here. And I still have on a Cheat Death as well. Right, I don't see a whole lot left here. This set would probably go really well with a Z-Barb. Now that I'm kind of playing around with it here. Alright, here's the end. Still don't got the one we need. Looks like we got another Natalia there. This could be a misconception, but I'm pretty sure I've heard before that whatever the Hadrig's gift is, you have a higher chance of finding those items. Let's see that here. Because it seems to be whenever Natalias are the Hagrid's gift, then I run into them all the time versus in a regular game. It's not. In order to stay alive, I always throw down a couple spike traps just right in the beginning. Right. You can keep an eye on your damage reduction buff right here. Or if you really want to, you can just open up your inventory the whole time, which I don't recommend. In there. Okay, just a small room of elites. That's nice. I really miss my spin to win builds. It's amazing that everything's still dying here in one trap set. Okay, we should just about be ready. Summon the Rift Guardian here in a minute. A lot of randos here. Absolutely love doing that. I think we need 2 green crossbows for the push version of this set too. Let's see, what was it doing again? There we go. That looks like Natalia's though. Speaking of which, I think I need a Dawn actually to equip. Did I find a ring? Yeah, I did find a ring of Royal Grandeur. Okay, and I'll store this. How many extra Natalias do I have? I have 1. I know I have 1 of the rings. It's 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have enough spare Natalias to not worry anymore either. And you go in the stash. How many of these do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12, 15. Okay. I think there's like 20 legendary gems, so I shouldn't have too much more to do. Oh, these enemies need to group up more. I know I can, again, do that with the caltrops there. I can group them up that way, but I'm still not the best at that, and might not have the right setup for that. What's my cap here for that? 950? I could probably go up a few levels of the Greater Rift here now. We're killing everything so fast, and I haven't had any close moments and stuff so far. I missed an orb back there, didn't I? A couple of them. Should try and get a Dawn here soon, too. I have enough to upgrade a couple times, so I could try and upgrade one. Don't like this place. I don't know if you guys have like areas where you just don't like him for whatever reason or another, but this game has areas where I think people universally agree that they're pretty good, and then there's areas where like hit or miss, depends on the build, you know? I just cannot stand the layout of this area, no matter what build I'm using. Okay, we finally have a Gem of Ease, which is great. So typically, I like to get that to the highest level that it possibly can be for when running an ult, or if we inevitably die, then that's going to be a good thing to have. Just having it is going to be nice. This used to be the go-to thing because you'd put it in a weapon and get one to rank 25 and then get an extra one and keep doing that until you had a whole set of gear specific for leveling up here. So I am going to save a couple of these because one thing that I tend to do is if I have an extra one for when I die, then I can just put on the extra one. And then I need another one for if I get to the end of the season and I just am not getting an Ancient Demon's Demise to drop, then I'll reforge this over and over again until I get an Ancient one. All right, start crawling up. Let's see, and how are we doing here? Still killing everything relatively easily. We're approaching the 200 Paragon goal, which means we'll max out one of the upgrades. Our movement speed should be maxed out here soon. These things are still dying in about one trap hole, which is great. Looks like our gear is about to be broken. Gotta remember to pair it next time. We don't really need more damage. We could have used a speed pylon. By the way, I have on a node which makes it so if I stand inside of a Caltrops, then I get 10% increased critical strike chance. So as long as I have a really good amount of critical strike damage, just laying down one Caltrop and standing in it is going to give me a huge boost. Speed boost is going to help a lot. Hate these big fat guys that explode here. Their on-death explosions killed one of my monks once. .605. Surprised that there honestly isn't a much higher number for that. Looks like we got another petrified scream. Because I am not on the solo one. So the solo one is where I typically expect less people to be. But with the fact that you can join up with other people here, I figured you'd be as reckless as you wanted to be. You know, and just have one person level you back up and get you extra gear over and over again. Let's see, let's put that here. We got an extra Ancient Natalia's with critical hit chance on there, and dexterity and vitality. So we can roll that to critical hit damage if we need to. Right, it's 2 petrified screams. We need at least 3 of these, I believe. We have to sacrifice one at the altar. Then we need a rank 125 gem, and then we need an ancient weapon that's got a gem in it to sacrifice. So one more of those and we'll be about done with that. Trying to collect a couple of those, at least one of each. Right, we got to repair. And what's our max here now? 980?
Anything could happen.
Let's go ahead and gamble for some rings again.
I cannot afford that.
Okay, got an ancient restraint. That's great. An extra Natalia. Creed's flame, I don't really care about. Do I have a focus in here at all? No. Okay. And up we go again.
I'm still waiting.
We still don't have any gems in, by the way. And we're missing the Dawn and the Convention of Elements. So don't let anybody trick you into thinking the Natalia set isn't powerful. It does absolutely great. It's just a little clunky to play and get used to at first. But there's certain sets that mimic this playstyle here. And if that's the case, then this might be right up your alley. I'll try and do a guide on the Natalia set as well. Explaining it a little bit more in depth with some higher pushing. And one other thing to look forward to in the future, guys, is I've managed to link up one of my Xbox accounts to the PC here and purchased the Necromancer expansion and the Reaper of Souls expansion on it. So I've got a whole nother NA, EU, and Asia region to run some brand new characters on and use the Hadrig's gifts, as well as this one. Which means each season, if we wanted to, and we wanted to do a full, fresh seasonal leveling for each of those, we can. And it also means that when I do my guides here in the future, I can have areas where the cube or the altar isn't completed at all and fully simulate the very beginning of the game without any interference of the altar or the season for that. So next season, our 1 to 70 guides should be looking a lot better and way more accurate. as well as giving you kind of the full experience for the start there and leveling up with the exact resources that you would see in the game typically. So we'll do that this season or later this season as well to practice for next season. And we'll do some hardcore characters as well. And the goal is going to be each season to focus on at least one character and really get it fleshed out. So this season, the pick was the Demon Hunter. Next season, maybe we'll see the Crusader or the Witch Doctor or something like that. And then once we've gone through every single class at least once, then we'll let the community decide. And we could do the same exact class over and over again if you guys want to. If you like seeing different classes, we can do that as well. So as you guys grow and give suggestions and stuff, I'll try to meet those expectations. Okay, we got a consumable there. Let's see. Okay, Bane of the Trapped is already almost up. We got an Aquila Curus there, which would be great for our T6 farming build if we wanted to. Wrong stash. Okay, I was like, where did that go? Pretty sure it was 1100, which means I need to get to either 60 or 70, I think, which our goal is to reach anyway. And I forgot to spend the rest of the Paragon that I was looking forward to doing. Typically, there's a pylon in these kinds of rooms, or at least elites. Alright, we're going the wrong way. I think this is also the wrong... Or is it the right way? And let me know if you guys want me to continue on this character doing what I've got planned here. If not, then what I'll do is I'll just switch over to the solo set that I've got going, which is currently like Paragon 650 or something like that. So much higher in Paragon. It won't take us all that long to reach the 650 on the other one, but the other one I do have the God set farming set up, and I've got all of the things I need for the Natalia set. We can push pretty high, pretty easy. And then I can just show off that one. But if not, we'll just maybe keep it as backup in case we just so happen to ruin this one so bad that we have no choice but to go to the solo one. A lot of people there. Okay, we got our shields, so we don't really got to worry anymore. That should activate the Rift Guardian. Hate that guy. Okay, we got Taguk finally. All right, and let's see, what else do we want to level up for now? Let's go ahead and start doing our Gem of Ease here. Oh, we got the Yangs there. Looks like an extra one and a gold skin. And we got another Petrified Scream already. That was pretty fast. We also want a few extra stuff for our follower. Let's see here. I'll throw that in there. And then we'll put these guys there. I guess I should move that over a little bit. Then let's go ahead and put that there. Right. A few more to go. Probably shouldn't stand in that. By the way, I really appreciate all of you guys who comment down below here as well, especially the people who consistently comment. I do notice you guys, and I try to give you guys likes and thumbs ups, or respond to the comments if there's anything with an actual question. Everyone's done a really great job of supporting the videos by putting down your own information and some stuff that I'm not fully aware of, or I either neglected to mention because I forgot about it. A lot of the times with this game, it seems very simple on the surface, and then as you dive deeper and deeper, there's little tiny things that are going to make a player much better. And in terms of if they can remember every single one of those things, that's a different story altogether. So if you guys have been playing since the beginning and followed along, some of you guys watching the videos are probably more knowledgeable than I am on a lot of this stuff. So I really appreciate you guys commenting and reaching out when it comes to that. I don't know if we'll be able to make our 500 subscriber goal during this season, but we'll try our best, and we'll try our best to make some videos that really help everybody out, both the new players and the experienced players. Sometimes it's just fun to have people playing the game here, which is why I decided to do this hardcore run, because I myself don't see very many people making a lot of videos and posts and stuff on just playing the actual game instead of just the guides and stuff. So I like following the people that play Diablo here too, and I like watching like Filthy and play him, and I was hoping that Rax would jump into Diablo, but it looks like he's got some other stuff that he's playing right now, which is also good to see as well. I get that the game is no longer new and no longer all that popular. But we're still going to play this until they kick us off the game anyway. We'll play as long as they let us. And of course, we're going to try out some of the new games like Diablo 4 and stuff as well. But I don't want to make any videos in that until I'm fully prepared and confident in that one. And I don't like hardcore in Diablo 4 very much, just because there's so many opportunities to die. There's our Molten Gilder Beast, so we're going to start switching over and leveling that up. Looks like we got another Yangs. I'm going to put in the stash right away too. I want to keep those as much as often, or as much as possible. And shadows. And I'm just going to throw this on right away. And in terms of the other item that I need, let's go ahead and do the Bane of the Trapped and throw that on. I don't really care about any of that other stuff. Okay, this should be enough to get me to the 1100 max that I need. And hopefully that's enough for the blood shards as well. If we're a little shy on the blood shards, I'll actually go ahead and run a torment, or run Act 3. And we'll open up the bounty cache there, because the Act 3 has the chance of dropping me an Avarice Band. And I really need an Avarice Band for running in bounties and Nephilim Rifts and stuff. The Avarice Band expands my gold pickup radius, and if you combine that with a Boon of the Hoarder and a gold wrap, it gives you something like 1 billion toughness or something like that. So, very likely the chance that you will never die. And already here, we're hitting a little bit harder for our damage. I noticed, or getting hit harder. I'm losing some health. So, I would say that anything below this is not, or anything above this difficulty is not something I would want to jump in. I need that guy dead. And we did put in our gems here, which looks like was a good idea. Okay. We can still do a lot more damage combining the caltrops here as well, so I'm not too worried about being able to kill anything. I'm very confident that we can kill everything. Alright, where's the exit? On the other side. One of my favorite map areas. So many enemies, they're all nice and close together. Usually a high rate of spawning pylons. So many elites. Got a shield, right? Guess there's no need to test it. Straight into another good area. This is what I wish the challenge rifts were like, by the way. Why not choose some of the best areas and some of the best classes for people to run to get an experience of a full powered build? You could still try and like give them limited time to do everything in, you know? But it'd be fun for people to be able to try out a full build for a class they've never done before, instead of some very shoddily put together builds that don't really work. Right. There's our 1100 that we need. And if we read this description here, it says regenerate 15,000 life per second after not taking damage for 4 seconds. Gain an absorb shield for 200% of your total life per second. So if we look over here, we're at 1,665,000 life. So right here at the beginning, that 15,000 life per second is not a whole lot already, but as we upgrade it, it's going up 1,000 at a time, and that just multiplies with the 200% bonus. So once we get that up high enough, that will be very useful for staying alive. Okay, let's go unlock another altar thing here. And let's see. So now I want to go this way and boost my chance of getting stuff here at Kadala. I need that extra ring of royal grandeur. Go there. There. Got a depth diggers, that's pretty great. And a couple extra gold wraps, which I'll throw in for, again, the follower. Because if I die, then the follower stuff goes away. And we'll pause for a second. And we're back. Let's see, what was I going to do again? Right, I need an extra ring of royal grandeur. I don't have one of those. And what was the highest difficulty we just did here? Torment 13, and I'm on Torment 9. Let's go ahead and bump it up to Torment 12. That should be fine. Actually, I'm going to say 11. Just because I can do a higher greater rift doesn't mean that I can do a higher regular level here, so I got to be cautious of that. Alright, we got Kill the Butcher. That's a fine bounty to do. Okay, we got a goblin too. It's nice. I really need to get more goblins with pets in them. That's a lot of explosions. Cannot wait to get the pets pick up Death Breath, and then I won't have to worry about anything going through here. I can just keep moving. All right, what do we have to do? Kill a data miner. All right. It's nice and easy. Love this bounty. All bounties should be this fast. All right, next. When we're officially at 9 hours. Going at it a long time. Again, if I had the opportunity to just stand here in one day, it'd be fine. Alright, this is the cathedral. We got to keep an eye out for the black mushroom if it's here. And again, usually there's specific layouts where it's more likely to be found. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed to be found there, but more likely. I have found it in this cursed chest area before. Just hanging out right down here. Oh, well, there's a goblin. Well, wherever that goblin was where we had the black mushroom, so. Alright, and I think we will stand here and do this one this time instead of leaving. Not really a whole lot we get to do here to make this build faster, so just gonna stand back here and throw down a couple and blow them up. Huh, that was actually pretty close to 100 enemies. I didn't think I would get there with this build. Alright, and we probably should explore the rest of this area. I think there's the exit right up here. Right. Now, one thing to keep in mind with this season and the soul shards is if you have a soul shard in your helmet and you have a broken crown on your follower, you won't benefit from the broken crown bonus. So typically that's why on like Nephilim rifts or anything like that, I don't actually put those in my socket spot, and I just have a diamond or whatever you would typically find in there. There's a vision of enmity there, which we might head in real quick. After all, there's a fairly high chance of not finding anything here. Or not getting a ring of royal grandeur anyway. On explosions. Double elite level back to back. That's nice. And I'm not being sarcastic there. That actually is nice. Now again, I'm going to try and get through this pretty quickly by just finding the portal and hopping through it. Means targeting areas with dense enemies. Rift Guardians, alright. I love the ability to stand back here and throw those traps so far with relative safety. I don't have to go down into all of those explosions. It's nice. And obviously the elites blowing up in one hit. Also really useful. I don't care about that extra death breath. And if we had a speed build, we would be going through this even faster. Obviously, I guess I should say. Rift Guardians? Oh, those ones are hitting hard. This is why I didn't want to go up to Torment 12 or 13. Was in case I wanted to go through one of these and have a long one. All right. 2 more of these to do. This is the one with those pillars I have to click on and all the enemies spawn out. It's going to be rather annoying. I think it is. Typical rule of hardcore, by the way, is when getting a lot of, especially like any vision pretty much, you should pop open your inventory and just see if you recognize anything that's valuable. Because dying while just getting a really good ring or a really good item be devastating. Might as well throw it in your stash. So we got a couple good items there, including possibly a good squirt. All right. Hopefully they let me get this off. If they don't. Get rude. Standing in this poison is not a good idea. But I'm a risk taker. Alright, we got another vision. Which just 1 or 2 of those goblin levels are going to be a lifetime, well, not a lifetime, but at least a good couple hour save for time. Which means it is beneficial the faster you go through those just to try and farm the goblin levels. I thought that that guy had stopped me, so I stopped myself. Alright, 1 more of these things to do. I should have plenty of gems. Alright, running into more elite levels, which is great. I'm actually not going to full clear. I'm going to get that ring at least. Could be a very good ring. Not gonna full clear. That was scary. Don't like this at all now. Hate those monsters, ones that just teleport to you like that. I'm gonna try and do my best to maintain buff here. And what one just activated me? Let me kill some of these enemies around here. Let's see what this is. Recently saved from death. Which one though? I think, is that this one? That is. So that was my followers cheat death that just saved me. So I'm gonna full clear this area because I want as much safety as I possibly can get in here right now. I gotta turn back town. And what more than likely happened there, guys, was that I'm only dropping 1 or 2 of these spike traps down at a time, which means I only get a few seconds of that damage reduction. And so when I stopped to go through the area and then I went back to go pick up the thing and then went back into the area again. Actually, I can move this over here and probably pick that up. Then I lost that damage reduction, and then one of those charging things rushed right towards me there. This must be a different class here. Yeah, it's a Crusader item. Keep it, because why not? And look at that, we got some more. Let's see, I didn't mean to put that there. Natalia, Shadows Heals. Another Natalia. I don't really use that whatsoever, so I can get rid of that. How many of the God set do I have here? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I officially have enough to get the God set going. Let's see. We're going to want an extra squirts for sure. Anything else good here? I have a potion on already, so I do want an extra one, 2, in case something happens. You can get saved. Both of those are already in the cube, so they don't matter. That's a really good thing there. Save one of those. Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac should always be saved. Same with an Oculus Ring. And then we'll throw in an extra homing pads there. And I might as well, already got 2 of those. I'll throw in 1 more of those. Okay. And the rest of the stuff can get scrapped. I could save one of those if I don't already have them, which I do. Is this one better? That one's better. Okay, and wow, we got a lot of Paragon to spend. Forgot about that. Okay. What do we want next? We're doing fine on resource costs, so let's go ahead and do life per hit. I think the next thing I want here is life. And but not for the life of you tell which one of the next things that we want here, if it's critical hit chance or attack speed, but I'll just do attack speed. And then I usually do maximum hatred, although I know I'm probably going to need to stack up some vitality. Okay. We were still in the middle of a vision, right? Yeah, we were. Gotta finish this up first.
Not ready yet.
Again, let's build up all of that damage reduction.
Still waiting.
If we had that Molten Gilder Beast up a little bit more, we wouldn't be as worried. That was a couple good drops there. We have an Enchantress Focus. I think our Enchantress has a cheat death on, which is why I'm using her right now. So I could try and get the cheat death for the Templar up as well. And our follower's cheat death is off cooldown, so it's ready to be activated again if worst case happens. Now, and again, typically if you're on softcore, there's no need to worry about it whatsoever. And just put on something that gives you the most damage. Now, I do like having an extra ring of Royal Grandeur for my follower as well, because I like running both Canes and Sages on my follower. Now, if I can't get an extra ring of Royal Grandeur and I don't want to risk, you know, in hardcore doing that over and over again, I'm fine with just getting the double Death Breath on the altar and just leaving Canes on. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Luckily, none of them jumped at me. Long one. I want to get rid of that guy first if I can. Those Rift Guardians are always scary.
Need more time.
Where's my enemy? This is a long one. So now if we get another Rift Guardian area or a really dense elite area, we might die here. Obviously, I'm not going out of my way to try and die. So if it looks a little too dangerous, then we'll pull back. Right, looks good. And I really wish we could have gotten to 70 before going through something like this, because then we'd have a chance of getting primals. I feel like I'm missing an enemy somewhere. Yeah, that should be plenty. Hate those little pillars. Oh, there's the enemy. Alright, let's return. Anything good here? What'd we get? Alright, we did get a puzzle ring, which we're going to save. Follower cannot die. Yeah, okay, we got an ancient one of those. We'll save that. Wait, was that the right one? Not. Save those. That gets thrown in there. Next turn to Talia boots. This is used for followers. Might as well throw that on. I'm gonna go ahead, throw these in there as well, just because I would like a little bit more extra there. And go ahead and throw that there. Okay. So there's some extra stuff in there, but I don't want to stack up too much extras. We don't really need them right now, and if we do die, we'll farm most of this stuff back again. And one of the reasons why we saved this puzzle ring is because we need an ancient one for the altar. And secondly, if we wanted an extra Boon of the Hoarder, we could take the Boon of the Hoarder we have in our stash, throw it on the ground, open up the puzzle ring, run through that, and then get a second Boon of the Hoarder for a spare that we could level up for if we needed it. So I'm going to do that and may reforge the puzzle ring if I don't get an ancient puzzle ring, and it seems to take forever. It costs about, I think, 50 Forgotten Souls to reforge every single time, which means it's something you'd only want to do if you've got a lot of Forgotten Souls on you and you can burn through the materials. I typically don't need to do that, but sometimes I've gotten so frustrated over not getting an ancient puzzle ring for 3 or 4 days that I always keep a spare in my stash for that exact purposes, and I've gotten lucky and gotten it on one reforge before, so that's a long hallway. Another goblin. We're getting pretty lucky with those. Or I guess we shouldn't say that we're getting lucky. We're just out in the areas exploring more often, and as you explore those, you get more and more goblins. So like I typically only hang out in the Temple of the Firstborn, or sometimes running through the Caverns of Frost over and over again. And the Caverns of Frost are where I encounter my most amount of goblins. My wife likes to do all of the bounties and explore the entire world, and as a result, she runs into goblins way more often than I do. But since we usually play together on PlayStation, anytime she gets a goblin, she invites me over, and then I get the goblin too. So, yay for that. All right, so we get double the bounty cash and double the reward here. So we have 4 times increased chance of getting a Ring of Royal Grandeur for the level that we're at. And we did not get it. I guess it'd be a 3 times increased chance. I'm just going to scrap all of this. I shouldn't have even bothered revealing it. Right. And what I want to do now is try and push my way up to GR 70. We just ran through those bounties as a one-time thing here to see if we could get the next one. But I don't really need too much more power from the altar, and I've gotten to the point where, again, even if I do die, I can get caught back up really fast. So our goal here is going to be first to get a Dawn. So let's go ahead and try and do that. We want hand crossbows. We'll just do 4 at a time. Upgrade those because we got the resources. And look at that, we got it right away. That is a very low roll on the vengeance there. That's a bit of a bummer. But what can we do? And I'll just go ahead and throw this here. And we also wanted a Convention of Elements.
I cannot afford that.
We'll upgrade a few rings. Okay, we got Restraint. It's huge, actually. I want to see. Okay, 2 restraints. Normally, I get focus over and over and over again. So actually, and was that the Wailing Host? Yeah, it was. So I should have the stuff that I need for the God set now. I might need to upgrade a few more. Wait a minute. I want to go up in Greater Rifts, not the same one. So we need to do 4 of these and not die. Now, as we do more of these, we should be going up with the Molten Gilderbeast, which do we have equipped? I don't think we do. Maybe we do. I'm very forgetful when I play this game. This is looking pretty dangerous too. So far, we haven't got the cheat death. We're going to get that right away. I haven't had the cheat death trigger. If we do get the cheat death to trigger, then I'm going to try and slow it down a bit or even exit and close the Greater Rift. It's looking just that dangerous. What am I doing? Wrong door. Okay, lost a bit of health there. Not too much though. I don't think my follower has a Flavor of Time equipped, which would help us out a lot for these. Another good bit of health lost there. Now luckily the Rift Guardian should die in a few seconds. Getting away from all those explosions. There we go. Jumped up quite a bit in our rank there, which I'm kind of surprised about. I would have assumed most people that are higher than me are in their 80s and 90s. Before I go any higher, I'm going to try and roll this into a socket. That was quick. And I'm pretty sure it is the Zeiss that we need. And if it's not, this is still going to be useful. This is a perfect area for this build. Check over there just in case. Yep. Pylon. Good to know where the pylon spawns are. I have an alarm going off here in a few minutes. I need to put the kids to bed. Hopefully that doesn't get picked up on the audio here. So after this Greater Rift, we'll pause for a second. I can do that. Now, luckily, with the caltrops here, I'm still doing relatively good. Don't gotta worry too much. We're already at 308 Paragon. We're moving up pretty fast when we get up a few levels here. And what I'm hoping to do is get the God set going after we reach GR70. use the god set to start farming through some speed greater rifts here, and get the rest of the gems leveled up that I need to for the push set here, which is going to be this one. As well as run through and build up a stack of resources and materials with Nephilim rifts and getting some greater rift keys, as well as just materials through the visions of enmity. Okay. $578,000 damage is pretty good for just the base stuff that we have equipped. There's another extra Yangs there. I'm gonna grab and throw away, or put away. And I'll throw these in here as well, just for something that I could throw in a low-level follower. All right, 2 more of these to do, guys, and we will officially hit our GR70. All right, we got a shield pylon a little early, so we don't got to worry about running through all that fire. There's like no enemies there. That was interesting. Okay, no pylon down here this time. A lot of orbs there. That was nice. I don't really like this area all that much either. Channeling pylon, that's great. I'm gonna hang back a second. Best to do that rather than rush forward thinking you have enough time to get through and then get pulled away by another elite or knocked back. No elites in those corners. Haven't been through here in forever. Right? Gotta run into 1 or 2 more elites. Which we're probably gonna get here in a second. This is the weirdest Greater Rift level. Right? And what we're going to do this next time is we're going to empower the Greater Rift. Should have empowered this one because the lower the level of the Greater Rift you empower, the less it costs, but whatever. And I think that's another foreign class thing here, so let me just check this out real quick. Pestilence. I have absolutely no desire to play Pestilence whatsoever. Nice pair of boots there for Natalia. And a quart of Sherma could be pretty useful. Throw that in there. Right. GR70, here we go. Actually, let's pause for a second, and then I'll come back and do a GR70.